that intro.
Boy, I might have to think about somebody drowning a puppy so I won't laugh, boy. I gotta think about the worst shit in the world so I don't laugh. I know this boy gonna be goofy on that shit.
What is going on, guys? Double Trigger Gaming here, and today we're gonna be doing our review finally with my buddy Oruffryder, and we're pretty much gonna be talking about a whole bunch of stuff at the Ghost of Tsushima, pretty much.
Yep. Phenomenal game, man. Phenomenal game. I feel like me and Double Trigger, we pretty much have the same feelings about the game. It's just one of the greatest. For me, it's one of the greatest games I played in a good hot minute, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you agree,
Yeah, definitely agree, because I've been seriously looking for a samurai game for like the past couple of months, and when I seen the trailer for this, I was like, you know, I'm gonna pre-order it.
Yeah, because there's another samurai game that gets a lot of popularity. I haven't played it. The Sekiro, that's supposed to be a good one. But
I feel like that game is definitely harder compared to this.
It's definitely harder, but that's not what turned me off to that game. Is the fact that you fighting in that game, you fighting creatures, fantasy characters, and whatnot. And I really appreciated Ghost of Tsushima because it was coming from a realistic standpoint, where if people don't know, you know, that really happened in that game. The whole story of the Mongol invasion of you know, medieval Japan, that really happened. So I appreciated going through a journey with a character with events and people that were really there, you know what I'm saying? So that appealed to me more than, you know, what most games always do, which is the dragons and the fantasy stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't sure we could take Kaneda.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that, man, because I definitely appreciate the time that Sucker Punch actually put in to do like a small backstory of like towards the Mongol invasion, and actually like create it into a game, just to give like a little bit of a history lesson.
Yeah, I think that makes a much more compelling story as well. But you know, I guess we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. I guess we should talk about each segment of the game and kind of have our thoughts on it. So I know Double Trigger wanted to focus on the graphics first.
Yeah, the graphics are definitely outstanding.
Fire, man! Like, it's not necessarily that. Okay, a lot of people say, "Well, it's not as good as The Last of Us 2." Let me tell you something, man. Last of Us 2 had phenomenal graphics, but the colors were muted. It didn't have that zest in the graphics. You know, this game is it's so well lit. There's so much color, so much life in the game that it all meshes well with making the game that much more beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start the game, and I mean, I don't know how you feel about spoilers, Double Trigger, for the game or whatnot.
I pretty much already completed it.
Okay. So basically, when you start the game, you notice the leaves, because there's so many beautiful foliage in this game, from the trees, the cherry blossoms, the leaves. When you ride your horse through these flowers in the field in the opening sequence, you rub your hands across the leaves, and it's just so amazing, man. And I personally have a 4K TV with a PS4 Pro, and it just looks so much more phenomenal, man. Like the sense of beauty, it just makes you want to, like, even when I was playing it, man, like, I was like, damn, I wish I could go there. Like, that's how beautiful and compelling the world looks, you know. Yeah. So I think Sucker Punch did a phenomenal job on just making it a place that's dangerous but beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree with you. I pretty much got the regular PlayStation, and somehow when the opening scene began, when Lord Shimura got caught, and you see his pores, and you see that sweat dripping down his face, I'm like, oh my god, these graphics are perfect in this game. They did amazing.
That boy had so many realistic 4K beads on his forehead, boy. No, but the attention to detail is phenomenal. Even I mean, this ties into another point, but the clothing, you know, you can almost see the textures and the little scratches on the armor. Like when you fight after battles, you see scratches on the armor. If you go to the weapon selection screen and actually look at your sword, and I didn't notice this at first, my buddy pointed it out from work, you can see the different scratches and fades from your sword as you progress through the world. Now, that's phenomenal detail, and I don't think many developers would put so much time into doing something like that.
Right, and I also noticed it was when you do it like a tech roll, you can actually get yourself in mud pretty much.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can be dirty for a hot minute unless you go into like a water, like a pool or a lake and swim, like wash yourself off. You'll be like bloody and stuff for like half your playthrough.
Yeah, and I pretty much caught this like when you play with the ghost outfit and you go into like a river or whatever. There's pretty much like air bubbles in the cape. That's what.
What? I didn't know that.
I'm being dead serious. If you actually go like one of those streams where you can swim, you'll actually catch like the air bubbles in your cape.
Wow. Yeah, I did not notice that. Man.
That's how detailed they put in this game. That's how much detail they try to put in the game.
And it's also, it's just so, the colors are so strong that, dude, I don't know about you, but when I'm riding my horse on like a sunny day in the game, or like when the sun starts to set, I literally squinch my eyes, dude, because the sun in the game is damn near more realistic than the real life sun. My ass was squinching like, God damn, let me turn this brightness down, or let me hide behind this tree real quick, cause I had to wear damn sunglasses when I ride my horse through that sunny days, boy. So, like I said, that all goes to the phenomenal team from Sucker Punch for just making such a beautiful world. And of course, Velvet Trigger knows this, I took so many photos in this game. They got a photo mode in this game that is phenomenal. And I was absolutely addicted to photo mode. I done spammed these boys with pictures that I done took. And I had to have took, man, it had to be at least 50 pictures in this game, because the game is long. So
yeah, definitely. I know this boy done photobombed the hell out of PlayStation app.
I put it everywhere, boy. Twitter, the gram. I was obsessed with photo mode. It's just, I would always see like a beautiful scene. Ooh, let me stop here and take a quick pic. Ooh, let me, go back to this river real quick and get this shotty shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so much beautiful scenery in the game. I couldn't help but just use it to its full potential,
Right.
So it's, I would say this is one of the best looking games that I've seen in a hot minute. And sometimes, even though I'm done with the game, I'm sometimes tempted just to pop it in and just ride my horse through the fields and stuff, just to, catch the atmosphere, because it's such a beautiful game. And so I guess we should talk about the next subject of the game, which is, should we go into the clothing and the weapons and all that stuff? Should we get in that?
Definitely, man.
I'll let you start off on that.
Alright, now, I know you hadn't gotten a pre-order, and I know that they pretty much screwed you over it, but like, when you first start out the game and you actually got like the pre-order bonuses, you pretty much got like a whole set of Hero Tsushima armor set, and I didn't realize this. If you remember the character that pretty much got wine threw on him and got caught on fire, this was pretty much his outfit.
I did not know that.
I didn't catch it until like I was over at my friend's the other day, and I pretty much gave him the game for his birthday, and we had watched like the opening scene and stuff, and I just caught like a glimpse of him wearing that outfit.
Oh wow. So there's basically backstory to that outfit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And this is the Hero of Tsushima outfit with the fur coat in the back?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I gotta go back and look. Once they come out with a plus mode, I'm definitely gonna play the game again. But yeah, man, man, this is another passionate topic for me because they did such a great job in these costumes, man. And it's not just that they look cool, but the fact that this is what the samurai warriors really wore during their time
the
of
samurai,
battle.
the Ronin, who else? The Mongols.
The Mongols outfits, everything is historically, because I watched a documentary about the game, and everything is historically taken from history. Because they were in the game, you're going to go through different classes of, warriors. Samurai is considered the highest class of warrior. They're considered royalty in Japan. Everybody respects you. You are pretty much, you're a strong warrior, but you're also royalty at the same time. And you'll see it as you dress as a samurai, because they have the samurai gear, and the gear is very distinguished. It's got a special, like a upscale look to it. You know what I'm saying? It's durable. It looks strong, but it's got a little suave to it. It got some je ne sais quoi, whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to the other class, which is the Ronin, which is basically, that's like a disgrace class. That means that you were stripped of your samurai rank. You still can fight because you know how to fight from being a samurai, but your honor has been taken away, and you're forced to be a wandering warrior. So they're called the Ronins. And them boys, they just give them boys dresses. Nah, they give them like this outfit, kind of a simple type of outfit. It's got some cool color palettes to it, but it's definitely kind of suiting for them and how they live their life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and then I didn't mean to stop you, but if you actually go through the outfits and take a look, it'll at least give you like a little small description for like each outfit, pretty much. And for the Ronin, this is what it says: worn by those who live and die by the bow and the blade.
Right. Because they pretty much, they have nothing really to live for, because they have no master to serve, they have no code to live by anymore. So they basically just live their life just wandering around, aimlessly, so to speak. And they'll get into trouble. Either they'll get into a life of crime, they'll serve the enemy, or they'll just be wanderers. So, and I did a lot of research on the different classes as well, historical research, and it was definitely a hard life for Ronins, and that's probably why a lot of them were serving the enemy in the game, because they needed food. Times were hard. They needed food. They needed a place to stay, and the Mongols offered that, because the samurai wasn't going to take them in, because them boys are nothing to them.
Right.
So, and then I know Double Trigger, you want to touch on this, because it's not that the different outfits appeal to certain classes, but also they give you stat and strength and weaknesses as well. They give you certain benefits. You wanna touch on that?
Yep. I'll pull it up right now. For like some outfits, you get like more health, and you'll take less damage from enemies' attacks, which is pretty much like the Samurai Clan armor, the Hero of Tsushima if you did pre-order the game, Gosaku's armor, Sakai Clan armor. But this is the one that really surprised me: the Mongol Commander's armor.
Oh yeah, that's that thick armor, boy.
Yeah, but this is another thing as well. It pretty much disguises you. That's one of the outfits that actually surprised me.
Yeah, I think you have to go through one of the the trials or the challenges to get it. No, I think you got to climb that hill or something. Oh no, that's not
you
it.
pretty much find somebody in like Act 3 which tells you about the armor, then you gotta go find all 4 pieces of armor, then bring it back from to get fitted.
Yeah, you gotta fight those generals, right? I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and basically this armor, so that's what I like about the game, because different armor has different functions. So with this Mongol armor, you can literally walk past a group of Mongol enemies and they won't even trip off you unless you stick around too long. Then they start talking their language. They start talking their language, and then this boy not answering them, so they take out them guns. I mean, not them guns, them swords. But it's a really good armor because basically it does no damage. Pretty much, like it does a little bit of damage. It's really a very defensive armor, so to speak. So stuff like that is kind of what we're trying to say, is that certain armor has certain benefits. Like Sakai armor is the best offensive armor in the game. Well, top 2, it would be Sakai and Gosaku. Like those 2 armors, if you hit somebody, they're gonna take a lot more damage with that armor than you would with, say, a Ronin or a Ghost armor. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if you get hit, you take a lot more damage because they're not really on the defensive. You know what I'm saying? So they have their pros and cons. But I want to ask Double Trigger, what armors did you kind of stick with throughout the game? And I have a feeling I know which one, but go ahead.
All right, well, the top 4 I've been sticking with throughout the game.
Dang, 4 of them? I only used 2.
Well, you know, since I first started, I've been using Hero Tsushima for a hot minute. Then once when I had gotten the Sakai clan armor, I've been working with that. I don't know how to say his name, but I've been working on upgrading the Kensei armor and using that for a hot minute. And then for the last one, I found kind of interesting because you can only kill 5 people before going in the ghost stance, which is the ghost armor.
Yeah, boy, I feel like that's your favorite one. That's everybody's favorite armor, boy. Is that ghost armor? Because basically,
like day 1, that was like the main goal for me to try and get this armor because it looks so cool when you look at it on the game case itself and on the profile, like the digital copy of the game itself.
Yeah, it was them. Everybody wanted this armor. Anybody who liked this game wanted this armor because, first of all, this is the armor that he's known for using. Because you see the ghost mask and him in the ghost outfit in the beginning of the intro of the game, like on the pictures or whatnot. And then if you have, I have the collector's edition. You have the ghost mask as a. This boy trying to hate on me. this boy taking them shots. You get the ghost mask as a pre-order thing, so it's like, okay, well, where's the outfit? And you get it, but it's towards the end of the game. But once you get that outfit, oh my god, enemies barely notice you. I think if you upgrade it all the way to the end, you get, it's like, what is it, like 40%? They can't see you, like 40% chance of them not seeing you or something when you do stealth attacks. I think that's it.
Let's see, it reduces enemy detection speed by 40.
Yeah, so I maxed that thing out right away, man.
And the best, the other best thing about it is it reduces the number of kills needed for ghost stance, and you have a 30% chance to terrify a nearby enemy.
That's right.
So I find that pretty useful. If you just like kill one of them and the other one just accidentally falls to the ground, you can pretty much just run up to them and just stab them right then and there.
Dude, I have so many funny experiences in this game where I would literally arrow a boy in the butt, and then thankfully for me, them big boys get scared, boy, and I'll be like, oh thank God, let me run up to you and poke you real quick, because but we'll get to that later. I don't want to go ahead of myself, but back to the armor, there is 2 more things I want to say. I will say, you know what, I was thinking more when Double Trigger was talking, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I think I used about 4 outfits as well. When I first started out, I used the samurai armor, which is the first armor you get, I think, besides your broken armor.
Right.
Because you start off with some ghetto-looking broken armor because basically the armor you used in the beginning of the game. And then you get the samurai armor, which is kind of better, but not quite. But when you max it out, it's one of the most balanced armors because you have a lot of damage output, and also you have a lot of defensive as well. So if you get hit, you won't take that much damage, and you do a decent amount of damage as well. So I would think if you want a balanced fight where both of your stats are even, you got to go with that Samurai Clan armor. That's what it's called, Samurai Clan armor. I use that for like the first, I think almost the entire first act. And towards the second act, I was using, I fell in love with the travel armor. That's the one. First of all, it looks badass because you got like a cape and stuff, and you got that bougie scarf. But also, what's good about that armor is that it clears away the fog on your map, so you can see more areas and access more secret locations more quickly than you would if you use your regular armors from other outlets. So I really like the traveling armor. And also, if you get close to Mongol artifacts, your control will vibrate, kind of like Tomb Raider games. So that was pretty cool. And I used that. And I also used, of course, once I got Sakai, I was like, it's a wrap. Because, once again, that's one of the best armors in the game. So once I used Sakai for a hot minute, And then I got Gosaku. Gosaku is really good. I used the Gosaku, even though it was a grind to get. And then and then once I got Ghost, that was history. I feel like Ghost is one of the best armors as well.
Right.
But something else I want to talk about. Oh yeah, and then one more thing, as I was saying, there's an upgrade feature to these armors. So basically, they start out with decent properties, but the more you upgrade, I believe it's like 4 slots.
Yeah.
To fully upgrade your armor for each armor, and once you upgrade it, it will get a little bit stronger. The attributes will get a little bit better until once you max it out. And keep in mind, when you're upgrading them, they're gonna look better. They're gonna look cooler. Maybe your shoulder blades will get bigger, or the helmet will get more detailed. It's really cool how they added that in. Your mask will be more dope. Like they really put a lot of work to making the look of the armor improve as your strength of your armor improves as well. So I really enjoyed that as well. You want to touch on anything with that, Double Trigger?
Nah, I think we got most of that details done on that. Now the next thing I wanted to try and talk about is the sword kits.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, they actually did put a lot of detail in the sword kits because they added like certain marks of gold, and they added like a whole bunch of different colorations. Where's it at? Alright, go to gear right quick. Sword kit. Now, the best one so far that I had seen that I pretty much enjoy is the Midnight Hanabi, I guess the name of it is.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember the names.
It's the black. The blue one? It's the black with the gold flames with the blue strap around it.
Oh, okay. And you might want to tell them too. How do you acquire your colors for your sword kits?
Okay, the only way to acquire like the sword kits, you pretty much got to look for
the Pillar of Honors.
Yeah, the Pillar of Honor. Once when you find those, if you see like a little sign that tells you to bow, you will pretty much get like a special Easter egg pretty much for it. Depending on if they have the sign. If they don't, then it's not really gonna work. And plus, I think if you do like 10 of them, I think you do get a trophy for it.
Yeah, you get a trophy. If you get the hidden shrines, you get a trophy for it. It took me a hot minute to get, because there's some that's like you could barely see. There's like plants covering it, but if you pay attention enough, you'll be able to see it and do something. But the Pillar of Honors is scattered throughout the world. That's how you get your colors for your swords. So they got it they're pretty much like a question mark on the map, just like anything else. And you know, you'll see it, and that's how you collect your colors, so you can get more color customizations for your swords. I stuck with the gold and white. I think you get that one kind of early in Act 1. I kind of stuck with that one. I like that clean matte white look on my sword.
So the Snow Demons one?
The Snow Demon, yeah. You get that really early. That's like one of the first Pillar of Honors I found. No, I'm sorry. There's another way you can get. I forgot. I didn't find that in Pillar of Honor. I bought that from the merchants, because merchants actually low-key sell a few colors in each camp and each temple. That's another way you can also do it.
It pretty much depends on which region as well, because if you go to like different ones, they'll offer like different options.
Different option, and you got to pay to buy anything like armor colors or sword colors. You're gonna need to collect flowers throughout the world, which you don't got to worry about because there's plenty. Like I think by the time I was done the game, I had like 120 flowers. So you know, there's a bunch of flowers. But and also another important part is that, to let you guys know, obviously in the beginning of the game, you're gonna be a weak dude. Your sword's gonna be weak. It's gonna barely do no damage. But the good thing is that you can upgrade your sword just as much as you can upgrade your armor to get stronger. It's probably the hardest thing to upgrade in the game. It takes the longest. Would you agree, Double Trigger?
Yeah, but with the sword, it definitely, well, you pretty much probably said the same thing. It takes a little bit just to try and get its upgraded to its fullest. Because it takes about, what, like 8 or 9 slots?
Yeah, dude. And the thing is it's hard to find steel. That's the main thing you need for the sword upgrades.
Yeah, and the sword and a Tonto blade.
And if I'm not mistaken, you only get steel from Mongol camps, right?
Right.
So I literally spent most of my time trying to get my sword on point before doing any missions. I would do all the Mongol camps in the area first, so I can get that steel, so I can get them upgrades, so I have less time, you know, less trouble fighting these enemies in these missions, because I felt like that was more important. And it definitely made a difference, because the stronger your sword gets, the less hits you have to do to take down an enemy. So that's going to be beneficial, but that's not the most important. I mean, that's important, but there's also something that complements that, which is the charms you can put into your sword. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about the charms.
So basically, the charms they give you like different benefits. It could be anything from extra damage when you fight to being 10% more stealth, so enemies don't see you. Better arrow precision. Anything, man. They have so many charms throughout the island of Tsushima that you can acquire, but the thing is, you're going to have to do challenges to get the charms to connect to your sword. They're called shrines, so they're basically little platforming challenges you have to do to get the charms. And some charms are kind of weak, they don't do much, but by the end of the game, there's some charms that are like insane. Like I was telling Double Trigger the other day, is that, or maybe it was today, is that basically there's this charm that literally makes you have like a 1-2 hit kill on enemies, because it's the damage is so strong. So when you picture having that charm with a maxed out sword, like, you're basically unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely worth putting in the time to upgrade your sword, and they give you so many cool options to do that. You know, I definitely thank Sucker Punch for, you know, making it such a reward when you go and explore this world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, what's next on the list, Double Trigger?
I mean, we still got like a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, but I think the next thing that we should talk about is like the play style and the gameplay.
Oh yeah, this is the meat pretty much of the game.
This is the beef.
This is the beef, boy. This is that sloppy Joe, boy. And the thing I like about this is that Dude, they give you so many options to kill somebody in this game. You don't have to swing your sword at all. You can literally either sneak around and be stealthy because they give you that option to like take out dudes with daggers and stuff, where you can acquire smoke bombs to, block their vision and stealth them out. You can do sticky bombs that are attached to the bodies. You can do poison darts to infect people or to make a person go crazy and attack others. That's what I did a lot. I would literally just chill up on a hill and throw them darts and have them dosho each other to death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is how I pretty much done it. If I sneaked around and got caught, I managed to like throw smoke bombs and pretty much gun at least a chain assassination on 3.
Yeah, that was one of the dopest things, dude, is to have the chain assassin where you take up to 3 dudes. Like, once you do that, people are so afraid they run away because they just seen what you just did. They're like, ain't no way no one dude can do that, so they run away. But that was pretty badass doing that. And damn, I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, you can throw kunais at enemies into their throats to like kill them. And if you upgrade that to the top, they pretty much can take out the weaker enemies or one kunai. There's more stuff, dude. I don't know why.
The
sticky bomb.
way of the flame.
The way to. Oh yeah, you can ignite your sword on fire to kill your enemies faster, and they can't block it, so they just take damage.
I feel like that's like one of the most overpowered equipment that you got, because you can pretty much throw them in a corner and just beat them to death with the sword.
That's true. That is one of the strong. I personally like the one where you hit him with that though. That triangle circle. The one where you hit him with that, he dashes like and then dashes again, and then stabs another dude like 3 in a row. That's my favorite thing to use, boy. That movie's so dope. Yeah, they have different special attacks that you can unlock by doing certain missions in the game that make you stronger. You have proximity bombs that you can throw. It's just an amazing amount of abilities that you can acquire to fight. You don't even need to just go up, because you can do it the old-fashioned way, like I call it the OG way, where you just go up to a group of dudes and say, "Bring me your biggest dude so I can mop him." Pretty much, it's like a standoff. You just call out the biggest dude or the most skilled warrior, and you can do standoffs with that person. Which basically you have to hold down triangle and wait for the opponent to attack, or when he tries to attack, you let go, and then you can one-hit kill him. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. You can do that the whole game if you want. But I was doing that for like the half of Act 1. I'm like, you know what? I want to try these other ways. And for me personally, the other ways of killing people was so much cooler.
And plus, I did a little bit of extra reading on it, and apparently, the playstyle that you usually do in a game, either the regular samurai way or the ghost way, it ain't gonna change really much of anything except for the weather.
Yeah, it makes the I would say it makes, if you use it the ghost way, it makes the enemies more afraid of you, and also it causes the weather to get stormy and stuff for a little bit. That's the only big difference, but it just depends on your playstyle. If you want to be stealthy, you can do stealth. Stealth is a little challenging in the beginning because your stealth, your attributes aren't that strong. But later on in the game, when you get stronger stuff, stealth is a lot better.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, man, it's just so much creativity you can do. You literally just chill and look at the enemies and think, how I want to bink these boys. I mean, what am I feeling like doing today? And you say, you know what? Get this explosive arrow real quick. You know what I'm saying? So it was, in the combat is done so well. If you want to go the sword way, there's a whole buffet of stuff you can do. There's different stances that appeal to certain enemy types that you have to memorize in order to face a certain enemy. Otherwise, you will die. And
Either that
I
or you
don't
just
know.
did the same tip every time. You got to use this stance for this
Yeah.
enemy, and that kind of does get annoying after a while.
Yeah, they pretty much telling you trash because you keep getting these menus like, hey, push this button, push it. You know what I'm saying? But in the beginning, I was struggling bad against them pole boys. Them pole boys were so annoying in the beginning because they done poked me
I'm
to
trying to think.
death.
The pikemen.
The boys with them big staff sticks.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The pikemen.
Yeah, boy. I used to tell this boy how annoying they were in the beginning of the game. I used to always die from them. But when you unlock the stances to face them and to defend yourself properly, they're like the weakest enemies in the game. Actually, the swordsmen are actually ends up being stronger than them once you get them stances in.
Right.
So they definitely help out.
I kind of feel like the brutes would have been better.
Them big boys?
Yeah.
The big boys wasn't really a problem for me.
Boy, when they rush in with the shields.
Boy, they wasn't really. It's when that boy with that gun towards the middle of the game, when the boy had that cannon on his hand, then he was a problem. I said, "Oh, they got guns in this game? Let me jump in this river and hold my breath real quick." You know what I'm saying, boy? But yeah, man. Like I said, the combat is so fun, it's so detailed, and there's so much to do. You're gonna have a great time. Whoever doesn't have this game, you're gonna have a great time trying to, find cool ways to fight your enemies. And again, hats off to Sucker Punch for giving the player such a variety. Because I feel like if it was just swords or basic stuff, it would get kind of boring. So I like that they spiced it up with different techniques.
Right.
Whew, that's a lot to talk about, dude. Okay. Well, what's next?
Let's see. On that, the various weapons. What about the characters and personalities?
Oh, yeah. So, that's the thing about this one. In the beginning of the game, I wasn't really feeling the characters. I thought Jin was a little dry in the beginning. But I will say, as the game went on, I really fell in love with the characters. You really you go on that journey with them and what they're dealing with, what they're trying to accomplish, and you really connect with certain characters. Like, when certain characters die, I literally said, "What the fuck" out loud, because I was so emotionally connected to them, man. Like, I didn't want them to die, you know what I'm saying? And my favorite character in the game is Lady Masako.
Of course.
She was such a badass character, and also the fact that you really felt for her, man, because you saw the pain in her face, dude. The stress, the obsession to find the killer of her family. You really wanted her to have that resolution. And, when the tales of her journey ends, you're like, damn, well, you kind of wanted more than that, you know what I'm saying? But, that's what I'm saying. They put so much into the characters and what they were trying to accomplish. You really start to care for them,
Right.
What about you? What was your favorite character? Let me guess, Jin.
Yeah, and I kind of like Yuna and Taka at first, because if you think about it, like at the very beginning, whoever played Yuna is a damn good actor. Because if you remember right on how she pretty much acted like she was crying at the very beginning, and when that Mongol turned his back on her, he got stabbed in the neck.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, she's a really, everybody, man, was just amazing, and the way they tapped into their emotions. Now, like I said, I do feel like Jin, he was a little dry, but I think it's not necessarily his character that's dry. The more I researched, I realized that's the culture. That's the way that the samurais are. They're not supposed to be overly emotional and show a lot of weaknesses.
Right,
They're
and if
supposed to
you follow his backstory as well, he was learned to do that too.
Yeah, because he was an emotional child. Like, he really was like that when he was younger. But when his teacher, which is his uncle, Lord Shimura, trained him of the way of the samurai, he taught him to control his emotions better. So I think that was just the belief system and the way he conducted himself, but not necessarily how he was deep down. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, so. But, yeah, everybody did a good job. Everybody played their part well. And I don't know, I kind of don't want to spoil it just in case, but the ending was so powerful. And
you might just want to wait on that because we still got still a whole bunch of stuff to talk about.
Alright.
I'm trying to think.
What's next?
I mean, we didn't get into their personalities, like each one of them.
Well, the personalities, okay, well, we'll start off with Jin. Jin is a person who lives and dies by the samurai code, so to speak. He takes living the samurai life very seriously.
Right.
He tries his best to make his, he might not act like it, but deep down, he wants to make his uncle proud. He wants to let him know that he will continue the legacy of the samurai, moving forward, and he wants his uncle to know that. But he's faced with choices where he realizes that the way of the samurai is not enough to defend this island against these Mongol invaders. He realizes that there's more that's needed. So he learns of the tactics of the Mongols, and he learns when he befriends one of the girl that saves his life actually from battle and nurses him back to health, Yuna. He learns that she knows a little bit of ninjutsu tactics, which is ninja tactics. Mm-hmm. Basically, Yuna tells him, "Look, man, like you're gonna have to do other stuff. You can't do this perfect line type of battle with these enemies. It's just not gonna cut it." You know what I'm saying? 50 samurai died pretty much in this battle. Like, come on. So he realizes that against his better judgment, because he wasn't happy with this transition of learning these tactics, but he realized that they are effective, they are powerful, and they do help. So that is basically how he becomes this hybrid of ninja and samurai, which is the ghost of Tsushima that they say. But Yuna is her personality, I would say, is a very she's been on her own lot, her and her brother. She's a thief, she's a warrior, and she's not 100% honorable like Jen tries to be. She realizes that, look, this is the real world. Shit's gonna happen. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. That's kind of where she's coming from. I gotta do what I do to survive in this world. I'm not really this way or the other. But deep down, she is a good person, and she does care about the people close to her. Lord Shimura is mad stiff. That man said, "I would rather die than not follow the samurai way." And anybody else who thinks otherwise can get this beat with this sword. That's pretty much where he's coming from. He is probably he is not complex at all. That man is who he is, and by God, fuck you if you don't follow his way. Like, that's pretty much how he is. He's like them grumpy old grandpas that like, boy, this is the way it's been done, and nothing new can ever convince me not. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much where he's coming from. And who else? The bad guy. I call that boy Kodo Khan. What's that boy name? Kubla Khan or something?
No, I think it's like Kotan or something like that.
Kotan or whatever. Basically, I'm gonna call that boy. Look, that boy Kodo Khan to me. That boy, he's a snake, man. He has no honor bone in his body. He will do whatever it takes. Even the ending fight with him is like with some pussy shit. Like, this man ran and got a spear. Then he ran and got a sword. Then he ran and got a pole. And I'm like, damn, where this boy going? He got a little shed next to him. He pulling his own. Then this boy ran and had like 100 goons that, and each time you almost beat him, he call out a bunch of goons to come out and fight you so he can catch his breath. He'd be like, Jaquan, go out there real quick. Let me get my rest, boy. So he was really unhonorable, and basically he'll do whatever it takes to conquer this island of Tsushima, which is only the first step because he wants to conquer Japan. But he started off with the island of Tsushima first. I mean, Tsushima is still Japan, but like, you know, not the main island. So I'm trying to think. Oh, and then Yuna's brother Taka, he's like a caring, heartfelt guy. He works hard. He has a talent for making weapons, and he helps out Jin a lot with new cool weapons and armor and stuff like that. He looks up to Jin a lot. He's tired of people saying that he basically can't fight, because Yuna pretty much saying he can't fight and stuff like that, and you know, he wants to prove that he was always can fight. And I don't know about you, but one scene that got my lip quivering is when Yuna, the most emotional scene for me is when Yuna said, when Taka died, and Yuna said, you know, did he die bravely? And then Jin said, he was always brave. You remember that scene?
Yeah, boy.
Oh man, boy, that got me, dog. I was like, oh my god, let me get my Kleenex real quick. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the most emotional scenes in the game, boy. But yeah, you learn to care for him too. He's like the little brother that Jin never had, man, that follows him around like, hey, I could do this too. Let me help you. And I knew he was gonna die, dude. When he came back to that camp, like, hey, no, I can help. Let me help. Let me give me a sword or something, boy. You know, I was like, oh my god. You know, you're not built for this life. Taka, go back home and hammer on that steel, boy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are pretty much the personalities, I would say. Anything you want to add?
I think we still got well, I think we already done covering Bicycle. I'm trying to think of his name.
He wasn't really a big deal to me. You talking about that Arrow boy?
Yeah.
That boy with that bald head, with that ponytail boy.
Shawaka or something like the name?
Yeah, something like that. He was looking for basically he was a samurai who was an expert archer that he wanted to find his student Tomoe. He wanted to find Tomoe. That was his what he wanted to do the whole game. Is his student that pretty much did some dirt and started working with the Mongols and betrayed him, so to speak. So he wanted to hunt her down and kill her. And that was basically all you did. He was kind of a boring, a dry character. I didn't really like him too much. He was kind of an asshole too. Like, he thought he was right on everything, and no one could question him. When Jin tried to question him, he would blow up in his face and get all heated for no reason. He was a sensitive ass boy. I didn't really like him. What you think about him?
I mean, he's kind of like Lord Shimura a little bit.
Yeah, I would say like the grandpa type of personality. Like, I know what I'm talking about, boy. Get the fuck out of my face or some shit, boy.
And the last one, Norio.
Norio? Who's Norio?
The boy with the big staff with the
the straw hat boy?
The Shaolin. No, the monk.
Oh, you talking about that thick boy? Oh yeah, he was cool. He was okay. I mean, he didn't really have the best, the richest story. They kind of started on him a little late, I feel like towards the middle and end of Act 2. But
right.
Basically, what was he? A Buddhist monk. That he was a warrior monk. That allegedly his brother was supposedly have gotten killed, and you know, he was trying to rectify he was conflicted between defending the temple but also searching for his brother's alleged killer. But you do find out that his brother ended up surviving, but died anyway. That was kind of funny, boy. I laughed at that shit. I ain't gonna lie. When that boy had the nubs, he said, "Kill me, boy." That boy. I know that's fucked up to laugh, boy, but yeah. Anyway,
Then,
Norio was
when you pretty much follow the story, he kind of does go down the dark path some.
a little bit. He goes down a dark path. I would say he goes down a darker path than Jin, so to speak.
Yeah, because at least Jin stays somewhat honorable depending on what you do. It, but with him, he just pretty much did like Convoy, just caught them all on fire and just left.
Yeah, this boy went Terminator on them boys, and you know he lost it. But one mission I thought was funny is when when I talk about he was conflicted because he had to defend Kusha Temple so bad. He had to make sure the temple doesn't be taking the Buddha, nothing. The people don't steal the artifacts from this temple. But then when his people was dying, he didn't want to go help them. So I was like, boy, what's worth more, the artifacts or people's lives? And Jin said the same thing. But eventually he did help, which I liked about him. He did change a little bit from being just strictly about the ways of the monk. So that was good. But I don't think he was a big character, a standout character for me, but he was okay. What do you think?
I'd say he was a pretty good character, though, at least maybe try and get some decent experience from.
Right. Well, and then what else? Is that everybody?
Yeah, that's pretty much everybody. Alright, now let's try and talk about like the side missions, the mini games and stuff for like the charms and the resolves.
Alright, not to get in too much detail, but I will say that there's basically different ways you can acquire well, I already talked about the charms, but
yeah,
there's ways you can make the charms stronger, which is doing these fox dens, which basically there's foxes that you see around the world of Tsushima, the island, and if you follow them back to their den, they have a shrine that you can pray to, and it'll make your
it'll pretty much open up like a new slot for another charm.
Oh yeah, I got ahead of myself. My bad. In the beginning of the game, you open slots to put more charms in. Because eventually, in the beginning of the game, I think you only have like one slot, and then
you have like
eventually
two. Then you have to like open up like 3 or 4 more.
You get 6 total, right?
Let me double check just to be sure.
I think it's 6.
Yeah, it's 6.
Yeah, and then so eventually you open up all these slots to get 6. Now, once you open all 6, then I thought the fox dens were over.
No, because if you go and look at like the stuff that you completed, it'll tell you how many you got left. And there's like surprised. How many? Like 50 of these throughout the world?
There's a lot, dude. I feel like there are more of them than shrines and hot tubs or whatever you call them. What's it called? Hot springs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But basically, after you get all 6 slots, you can use the fox dens to make your charms stronger. And this was I was trying to talk about before. Basically, charms that are weaker, they can become more powerful as you do these fox dens, as you complete the rest of them. So that's a really cool aspect, and it makes it so much more deeper to make your character more powerful. And then touching off that, there's hot springs that you can find. I call them hot tubs. You can find throughout the world, which basically increases your health a little bit. It's cool. I kind of wish they didn't do that ass shot.
At least give them that Fondushi outfit or something.
Oh boy, that Fondushi outfit should be deleted from the game, boy. I'm scared to put that on when I can't play with that. But yeah, basically you relax and reflect on things as you gain more health. So those are actually very important to acquire because your bar of life is super small when you first start out. Just like 2 hits and you dead. But by the end of the game, that bar take up the whole screen, boy. So those are good. Also, there's yellow birds with a certain specific chirp that they use. They can guide you to different things around the world. They can guide you to fox dens. They can guide you to hot springs. They can guide you to Pillar of Honors. They can guide you to side missions. They guide you to anything that's not the main quest. So
and pretty much of encampments as well.
Oh yeah, encampments too. So they were very useful, and that's kind of how you navigate the world, man. Because there's no GPS system. you use the guiding wind, which is you stroke your finger up on the touchpad of the PS4, and the wind will show, and it'll show you which direction to kind of guide your horse to. I really like that. It made you so he's not less immersive than it is. It makes you, really get immersed into the world, and it was very relaxing too, man. Like I said, sometimes I pop the game in and just ride around my horse, man, and just use the guiding wind to like find some more stuff, because I still got some headbands to find, I think.
Yeah, and haikus pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this is off topic, but I feel like the best headband in the game right now, for me at least, is the headband of Refuge, which is pretty much like a solid gold headband.
I think I have that one. Boy, I like that Gosako headband, the silver and black one. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And of course I like that Sly Cooper one.
Oh yeah, okay, well, I guess we'll get to that later.
Let me just ask you now. Did you get the outfit or not?
Yeah, I definitely got it.
Okay.
Because that is like one of the Easter eggs for a trophy. You have to collect Gosaku's armor and change the color of it. Find the headbands, and then
the sword.
the sword. And that's pretty much completes the DLC and the Thieves Wrap.
Yeah, you did but you get that really early in the game, the Thief Wrap mask.
Yeah, you get it like on Act 1 just from a gift altar.
Right. Yeah, so that's pretty much all you need, but you don't get I think the last thing you get is the headband. You got to go on top of one of those.
Nah, the last thing I think you get is the sword, because you get the headband when you start Act 3, you can manage to get the headband pretty easily.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the infamous headband. The infamous headband you get late. I forgot. Boy, this getting too long. I don't remember which thing is where. But yeah, that outfit is pretty dope. And what was I gonna say? Oh, there is something I want to talk about, dude. This is one of my favorite things about the game. It's probably one of my favorite things. Is the music, man. The music in this game is phenomenal. It is. I bought the soundtrack because it was so good. When I heard the music in the trailer, I was like, this is going to be an epic game, because it makes the game so much more powerful. It makes the story and the emotional scenes so much more rich with what they're trying to tell, because the songs that they put in, like let me give you an example. Like I'm going to say, like we've said before, in the beginning of the game, when you're riding your horse through the field and you hear the that shit was fire. I literally was sweating on my feet because I was looking at such beauty, and then having those beautiful songs in the back. It just added so much more to it. When you see the Ghost Issues Sucker Punch Presents on the right side of the screen, you're like, oh my god, son, this game about to be fire. It just makes it so much better, man. And like you could play songs with your flute and stuff to change the weather. You play cool little melodies.
Yeah, the only way you can actually change your music is that you got to find singing crickets.
Yeah, singing crickets, how you get your songs, which I believe I still got a lot to go with those, boy. I think I still got like 30 of the crickets to find. Yeah. Or something like that. But
the only way that you can actually get those is by finding cemeteries.
Yes, you gotta find the cemeteries and collect them, and you usually can hear them in the cemeteries too. Yeah, man, I love the music. It's one of my favorite things about the game. It's so beautiful, so well crafted. If video games could have Oscars, I think that it should win Best Soundtrack of the Year for like an Oscar or something. It was, or a Grammy, because it was amazing. What you think about that music?
Oh my god, dude! Like the music towards the end of the game, we pretty much get to like the end credits. Oh my god, dude! It was.
Oh yeah.
It was a tearjerker music, pretty much.
Yeah, the end credit music. Oh, how did it go? I remember. Oh, dude, I have it too on my CD. I was playing it, but it's like something like that, dog. And it's like, oh my god, son, like, and they're showing like the characters and like ink drawings and oh, son, I was sitting at the screen just for a hot minute, drinking my Voss water. Like, what did I just experience? This is more than a game. I told one of my good buddies, and he laughed at me, yo. But I said, this game changed my life, man. It's just the fact that it's just such a different experience than what I'm used to. I mean, it's not a generic game. Like most games are generic. You got powers, you got guns, you shooting up dudes, you banking boys. That's what games of society, especially America, are all about. But rarely do you have a game that transport you to a special world, a special place, experience with the people, connect like this on this level. I don't think it's ever been done before. You know, and you know, I hope that Sucker Punch can make a sequel. They saying they would love to make one. So I'm hoping that they, you know, either continue with Jin or do some Yuna or something, because those characters are loved.
Like if they decide to do like a sequel, it'll probably be Jin again.
Well, did you hear
like an older version of Jin, maybe?
Did you hear that a lot of people actually want Yuna to have her own game?
What?
Yeah, a lot of people like, oh, we want to see more of Yuna, because she's very mysterious in the game. You don't know too much about her.
Yeah, that would definitely make more sense.
I was surprised actually at the end of the game when she was just like, all right, well, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh damn, like you just gonna leave this man like that? Like he be thinking about you in the hot tub, girl. Like. But yeah, I feel like we talked about a lot, dude. What else is there to talk about?
Let's see, we still got to talk about the story. Let's see.
Well, we kind of talked about the story already.
Well, though, pretty much. Well, since we did, well, most of the story at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. The Mythic Tales.
Come on, son. Yeah, I gotta go right bounce in a bit.
Alright, well, I'll try and make this fast. Where I did some of the story. Oh, the game sales, the PS4 exclusives.
Oh yeah. Well, thankfully, I know me and Double Trigger are very happy about this. Is that the game pretty much outsold most PlayStation games, especially the exclusives. I believe it outsold Last of Us 2, which was one of the highest selling PlayStation exclusives ever made. It sold out all over. Like out here where I live, I remember when the game first came out, you could not get a physical copy anywhere. It was sold out stores. I have a homie that tried to get the game. He went to like 5-6 stores and he couldn't find it. He finally found it at like a random Target and there was like one left. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely been flying off the shelves like crazy. I even heard that there's not even any used copies of the game. Like if you go to the stores and GameStops and stuff, or at least where I live, I don't know about where you live.
I mean, I see like brand new copies and pre-owned copies.
Boy, you lucky. It's nothing like that over here. It's barely no copies at all. You can only do digital out here. So the game is doing well. It's doing well. But I did want to ask you, Double Trigger, this was one of the last things I want to really ask you, is that how do you think this game stacks up with other PlayStation exclusives? Because, and before you answer that, we all know that God of War is up there in terms of quality.
Right.
But there's some people that say this is better or on the same level. I would say I like it better because I just connect a little bit better with the story. Because you know, the father-son thing's been done before.
Right.
But anyway, what do you think?
I mean, I know that some people have their own opinions on it, the exclusives pretty much. But I'd say my top 3 would be God of War, then goes to Tsushima, then Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
Those would be like my top 3.
Okay. What's your third one?
Last of Us Part 2.
Okay. Yeah, I would say for me, it's Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted 4, and then God of War. That's my top 3. But yeah, I do think that this definitely stacks up as far as just the quality. I am happy it's doing well. I really hope that Sucker Punch, you know, makes a PS5 sequel, or hopefully for next generation console. But I know they took a long time to make this game, and they don't make many games often too, because their last game was what's it called? Second Son or something. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Infamous. So they take a long time on games, but
once when they release the game, it's gonna be at least 100%, 90 to 100%.
Yeah, you know, when they take long, but you know they're gonna have a fire product. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's no question. You know, you can pre-order. You don't even look at. I think with them, I won't even look at reviews anymore. I just cop. You know, because you know it's fire. But I wish they have confirmed that they will not be making any DLC for the game, which I'm kind of sad about. But at the same time, if they could just make that plus mode, that's all I want is that plus mode, man. I'll be set. I don't need nothing else.
I want that plus new mode. Game plus.
I want to bank a boy with one hit on that first stage, boy. That Act 1. I want to throw boys left and right on Act 1, boy. That's what I want. Give me that plus mode. Please. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. I think we covered pretty much everything.
Oh, before I forget the bugs. Like the recent updates.
Oh. Yes. I did encounter a very big bug on my end. I don't know about you. You said you didn't encounter any bugs at all?
No, not really.
I mean, the AI was good. I had no AI problems. There was one bug I had. So basically, a lot of times what I would run in this game, my character model would jitter and shake like it was having frame rate problems. And it happened throughout my entire playthrough. I talked to other homies that did not have this problem. I went on the internet thread, Reddit. It apparently is an issue with certain people where they would have this bug. I was hoping that the new patch would fix it, but they didn't. So I'm hoping that through a later patch, I'm going to actually write to Sucker Punch to tell them. And I'm hoping they can fix that, because it is kind of annoying and it takes you out of the immersion when I'm trying to run somewhere and then my boy doing some type of, you know, candy high, sugary rush stutter. Like, it's weird, you know.
Right.
But other than that, I didn't have any problems. Everything was smooth. Everything was good. One time a yellow bird went through a mountain, but that was about it. That boy said, "Too deep." That boy said, "No pillar island for you, boy." That boy went through that mountain. But yeah, man, I think that's about it. What you think?
This would probably be the last thing. The lethal mode.
Oh yeah. So they added a lethal mode, which is like supposed to be the highest difficulty level. I actually tried it. I think it's awesome. The enemies are a lot more aware. It's harder to do stealth too. They're a lot more aware. They're a lot stronger. They can bink you in like 2 hits, but at the same time, you can bink them in 2 hits. You know what I'm saying? You're a lot more. I would say if you want a true samurai experience, do lethal mode, because in real life, it don't take 30 hits to kill nobody. It takes like 1 or 2. So that makes it more realistic. So I do love the lethal mode, and I think it's awesome that they added that.
Yeah, definitely.
And you should definitely check it out. Alright, boy, but I
I don't know if you want to talk about this, but the different enemies and the different acts.
Well, I kind of spoke on that about the pole dudes. They got the swordsman guys. They
Yeah,
got
but like
guys with
how they acted
shields.
like differently throughout the acts, like how strong they got,
Oh yeah, well
different
yeah. As you
tactics.
progress, yeah, they use different tactics. They can start to dodge moves that you were able to spam before. They kind of block it more. They're more hip. So the enemies by the end of the game, they're blocking and dodging, especially on higher difficulty, blocking and dodging a lot more because they kind of evolved just as much as you did, which is good because you don't want to be able to bank them too easily. You want them to be able to be smart and have a challenge for you as you get stronger. So I definitely appreciated the way Sucker Punch, bumped the difficulty and the ante up for the characters and for the enemies. I think that's
And
it, man.
I think that covers pretty much everything then.
hmm But
Uh,
oh wait, one more thing. So what do you give this game? 1 out of 10?
I definitely give it a 10.
I agree. I'll give it a 10 as well.
And plus, I kind of actually do want to go back and like replay the whole thing again, but I'm gonna wait until the plus mode comes out though.
Yeah, boy. After I've seen how much I've been blessed in that game, I don't want to be weak again. I want that plus mode. I'm not trying to grind again, boy. Give me that plus. But yeah, I definitely recommend anybody who wants a great gaming experience. If you're looking for a good single player game, you can't go wrong with this. This is the #1 game that should be on everybody's list. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can wait for a sale or something during the holidays, but you should definitely pick this up.
Yeah, definitely.
But alright, boy, I'm gonna get ready to head out.
Alright, guys, we're gonna end the review right here. If y'all enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment. And Oruffryder pretty much has a channel, and he's been working with Marvel's Avengers a little bit and Days Gone. If y'all want to go check by his channel, I'll leave a link in the description, and hope that everyone subscribes to the channels, and I'll be seeing everyone in the next video.